3 minutes to go, 3 to go, and we shall have the guys rolling for their first formation lap. So here we go, and this looks more like it, and Jahan Daravula does convert that pole position to the lead. Good start by Robert Schwartzman, good start by Mick Betch, but some of the front runners have gone up the grass before going on the grassy bank, before going under the Litchfield Straight. There's vigorously waved yellow flags, but certainly from the start, Jahan Daravula has converted that pole position to a handy lead of a length and a half in kart 105. Behind him, kart number 107 is Gabriel Aubrey, it seems to me, as the fourth place driver moves up to third, that I didn't identify. Lando Norris, I think, has had another disappointing start for him. Number 101, no, Lando Norris is okay, he's in third place. It wasn't a disappointing start, it was a safe start. There was Lando Norris in the shot, as you saw us there. But Jahan Daravula leading this one, and already got a couple of kart lengths lead as he comes onto the home straightaway in front of kart number 107, Gabriel Aubrey. A surprise that Gabriel Aubrey got past Mike Betch, because I thought that Mick Betch got a decent start. That may have been a misread. Lando Norris third, Mick Betch did get a decent start, he's gone through fourth. The Scotsman Dean McDonald fifth, and the loser was Devlin De Francesco, has dropped several places down to 10th. And from Singapore, James Pull dropped to 13th. Robert Schwartzman, the Russian who started on the front row, into 17th. That was the big disappointment. The guy from the front that went up the grassy banking was Robert Schwartzman, and it's all gone wrong for the Russian in the first 200 yards. Lando Norris is now up to second place, having gone past Gabriel Aubrey. A race leader, Jahan Daravula, now in the sights of Lando Norris. Jahan Daravula driving, as we've said before, for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, so these are teammates 1 and 2, but there'll be no team orders here. This is a title to be raced for and won and lost. Jahan Daravula holding on to the lead presently. Mick Betch went past Gabriel Aubrey as well, so it was a disappointing lap for him. Lando Norris went to second, Mick Betch to third. Daniel Ticktum has gained places. He's gone past Ross Martin from 8th to 7th. And Devlin De Francesco in 10th place hasn't fallen any further. Well, Lando Norris really applying the heat now on Jahan Daravula. We're going down to the Fullerton Essers. Lando Norris just in front of Mick Betch. Mick Betch getting closer in that green helmet. But it's the 1 and 2 we're looking at the moment, because Jahan Daravula holds the advantage over Lando Norris. That's Mick Betch in your screen in third place. So an Indian-born Brit, a British-born Brit, and a German-born German, 1, 2 and 3. And there goes the move by Lando Norris, and it hasn't worked. Lando Norris has attempted pass, and Jahan Daravula was able to legitimately close the door. However, Mick Betch from Germany still very much in the contention. Lando Norris looks over his shoulder. So does Jahan Daravula, and Norris has another go, and this time it does work. Lando Norris takes the lead on lap 4. This is lap 4 of 19, and Lando Norris takes the lead. And Mick Betch getting underneath Jahan Daravula, and Daravula, notwithstanding what it says on your screen, has now lost that lead. This is Lando Norris in front of Mick Betch, and these two pulled away a little bit from the pole sitter Jahan. Let's have a look again. There is the move. Lando Norris going nicely underneath Jahan Daravula. Nice and clean. That was executed at hairpin number 1. And from a different angle, we now see the move by Mick Betch. Middle of your screen now, getting inside of Jahan Daravula. Daravula looks over his left shoulder, sees that there's absolutely nothing he can do. All he could do was to try to chop across, a move that would certainly have taken one or other of them out and would have seen him excluded. So the sensible move by Jahan Daravula, although bitterly disappointed to find himself in third place after starting on pole. Fastest lap to the driver from Singapore. Well, John Pull in kart number 119. James Pull, sorry, on the Tony Kart Vortex has set the fastest lap of the race. He's outside of the top 10, but he's clearly going quickly. Lando Norris just putting a little bit of distance between himself and the chasing pack. Mick Betch, I do say again what I've said previously, he was pretty reasonable, pretty decent early on in this event, but Mick Betch has got quietly better. Lando Norris, we know of his skills. He uncharacteristically made 2 consecutive bad errors at the start of 2 of his heats, and that really hurt him. But hey, this is coming to the 1/4 race distance, or just past the quarter distance in the final in the juniors. And a little piece of passing there. You saw, and Alessio Lorandi setting the fastest lap. He started on the back row. Alessio Lorandi started second last and is up to 10th. So from 23rd to 10th. And Daniel Ticktum has gone past Jahan Daravula. You saw that on screen as I was talking about a different feature. So let's have a look again. Here is the passing move. Nice move. Daniel Ticktum is in kart number 102, and he started back in 16th place on row 8. And now he's got himself, well, into a healthy position in 3rd place behind Mike Betch. Really good drive by Daniel Ticktum. We're on lap 7 of a 19-lap final. This is Lando Norris. At the end of the previous lap, he had 0.49 of a second advantage. That looks a little bit more, and there goes the move into 2nd place. Really good effort by Daniel Ticktum, going past Mick Betch, and the German looking good in 2nd place has been passed by the Brit who started on the 8th row. So Lando Norris leads, Daniel Ticktum now 2nd, and Mick Betch the German 3rd. We see a replay of that again. Beautifully clean move on the hairpin number 1. Well, has Inad Ahmed had a little issue we saw there, or maybe that was passing moves? Certainly in the top half dozen drivers we have no issues because they're all very well spread. Lando Norris 1, Daniel Ticktum 2, Mike Betch 3, Jahan Daruvala 4, Ross Martin and Gabriel Aubrey has fallen off the radar. So Gabriel Aubrey, who started so well, has just dropped like a stone, as has Enad Ahmed. Maybe they've had an issue. The Scotsmen, Ross Martin and Dean McDonald, 5th and 6th. Harrison Newey, who started in 18th place, he's up to 7th. Alessandro Lorandi, who started 23rd, is up to 8th. Max Fuchel 9, and James Poole from Singapore in 10th place. And the lady who started last, Marta Garcia Lopez from 24th to 12th. So the lady's showing the lads that she has got something to offer in terms of talent when it comes to kart racing. This is lap 9 of 19 as we head towards the half race distance. Lando Norris continuing to hold the advantage. Glances briefly over his shoulder as you saw on screen. Coming down the grade onto the first part of the back straight to hairpin 1. And 4th going to 3rd there is Jahan Daruvala. Jahan Daruvala going to 3rd place at the expense of the German Mick Betch. Saw a nice capturing of that. Here we are with the replay. Well, we have to cut to a different camera, so we don't see the replay, do we? No. Mick Betch holding on though. Jahan Daruvala having got himself out of the lead, having started from pole. And again we have a look. Here is Jahan Daruvala just getting inside. Mick Betch did the sensible thing. He didn't try and chop across, didn't do something silly, but he's hanging on to the slipstream. Well, is he hanging on to the slipstream? Possibly Jahan Daruvala just pulling away a little bit. Lando Norris then has a handsome lead in terms of distance on track. It's only half a second on the transponder, but it's 6 kart lengths to the good, 5 at least on track as we go from hairpin 1 to hairpin 2 and onto the short chute as we call it. This is parallel to the start finish line in a different direction, through the S's down towards Bobby Game corner. Sweeping right-handed. All of those top half doesn't go through, as you can see. That driver that you see there, 113, is Alessio Lorandi, the Italian, who was so dominant in the early stages. Alessio Lorandi started 23rd and he's up to 7th. A stunning drive by the Italian after all of the misfortunes that he suffered in this morning's pre-final. have to say he was a driver who was most impressive during the heats, and it looked as if his chances had all gone. I don't see which that driver is that's drawn the yellow flag and is out of his kart. It might be Devlin De Francesco, possibly. Robert Schwartzman went out at an early stage. David Beckman also went out, leaving Mick Betch as the only German racing as we move into the second half of this junior final. There is Lando Norris, pursued by Daniel Ticktum. Third place driver Johan Deravala, fourth placed Mike Betch, fifth the Scotsman Ross Martin, or one of two Scots, Ross Martin. Number 105 that you were looking at there was Johan Deravala. This is Lando Norris 101, leading Daniel Ticktum 102. They both come under the Lichfield Bridge. Sweeping left. Daniel Ticktum's previous lap was 56.45. Lando Norris was 56.52. So Daniel Ticktum is going a little bit quicker than Lando Norris. This is lap 12 of 19 through the first hairpin. Going left at hairpin 2, down the short chute into the Fullerton Essers, and Lando Norris still got the clear advantage, but equally clear, Daniel Ticktum is reeling him in. Round Bobby Game corner into the Mike Wilson complex. He's coming back towards us on the home straight, right-handed onto the home straightaway to come round and complete lap 12. Well, the difference now, 0.343 of a second. It was 0.343 of a second. Is now 0.152. So Daniel Ticktum has halved the gap in terms of time, and the naked eye telling us that he is getting closer to Lando Norris. These two in a European competition this year had to be split by a tie break when they finished on equal points. That went in favour of Lando Norris. Daniel Ticktum having to take the vice championship. So Ticktum, oh, you saw there, didn't you? You could get into Daniel Ticktum's head. Is there a little gap? Could I go through there if I had to? This is Johan Deravala getting a little bit closer. In fourth place, Mick Betch, you can still see. But it's this dice between the front two that captures our eyes. Lando Norris onto the home straightaway for the 13th time of 19. Hotly pursued by Daniel Ticktum. No attempt by Ticktum to move. Deravala is the driver coming third underneath the Lichfield Bridge. There he is, followed by Mick Betch. But these are the two drivers battling for the lead in front of this good crowd here at Paul Fletcher International, home of the Trent Valley Kart Club. Daniel Ticktum biding his time. No attempt to make a move there. Looks over his shoulder now though, doesn't he? And Daniel Ticktum bidding to make a move, and does get in front. Daniel Ticktum executes the move. Daniel Ticktum takes the lead, and Lando Norris is now for the first time in his wake. Daniel Ticktum, who has been very impressive in the heats with 2 victories, but picked up penalties when he incurred the wrath of officials. But right now, on lap 14 of a 19-lap final, he's in the lead, pursued by his Ricky Flynn Motorsport teammate Lando Norris, and these two not letting Johan Deravala get too close in third. And oh my, momentarily I thought that Lando Norris was looking for a potential move there. It does look as if Johan Deravala may well have broken the toe of Mick Betch. Johan Deravala, Lando Norris and Daniel Ticktum. And there is the move, and Lando Norris goes back in front. Lando Norris back in front, and Daniel Ticktum trying to oh guys, your teammates, and they looked at each other as if to say, what are you doing? To which the reply was, what are you doing? Well, the answer is they're racing hard, but Johan Deravala, the third member of this Ricky Flynn Motorsport team, yeah, let's have a look at this again. Ooh, just about millimetres to spare as that passing move was executed. 101 is Lando Norris, 102 is Daniel Ticktum, and we're on lap 15. So coming to the final quarter of the race, and Johan Deravala, instead of being detached in third place, is now making a serious bid for second place. Lando Norris is kart 101. Daniel Ticktum looks over his shoulder, he's 102. Johan Deravala is kart number 105. He's in third place. Mick Betch there you see in screen to the right. Mick Betch is kart number 110 for the Tony Kart Racing team, but he's the one in shot nearest to us, but a little bit detached from the front running three. This is Lando Norris that you're seeing. That's Daniel Ticktum, Jahan Daravula, then that little gap to Mick Betch. As we come through the Mike Wilson complex, Mike Wilson, of course, won the World Kart Championship more times than any other driver ever. If you're listening, if you tuned in, Mike, hi to you from your old mate Ken Walker, as Lando Norris continues to hold that narrow advantage over Daniel Ticktum. Jahan Daravula very much in touch in third place. Mick Betch not in a position to make a challenge, but if any of these front running three do anything silly, Mick Betch, oh, and a little bit of contact there, was there? Well, that's down to the officials. There's a lot of looking at each other, and Jahan and Mick Betch has got amongst them. Well, moments ago I said Mick Betch handily placed if any of the guys in front do anything silly. There was a little bit of contact, and now these three Brits, or honorary Brits, and Mick Betch goes second. Oh, it goes a little bit wide and loses second place and loses third. So Mick Betch making that brave bid for second place, nearly got there, but ends up fourth as we conclude lap 17. Two to go. Lap 18 underway. Lando Norris is kart 101. Daniel Ticktum is kart 102. Jahan Daravula 105. Mick Betch 110. And Daniel Ticktum in kart number 102. Ticktum dictating, if you will pardon the pun. Going through the S's, Daniel Ticktum, Lando Norris second, Jahan Daravula third, Mick Betch fourth. Mick Betch would certainly like to feel he could get on the podium now. It looked an impossibility 2 or 3 laps ago, but it doesn't look an impossibility now. Going to be tough. It's looking good for Daniel Ticktum though. Daniel Ticktum sees the warning flag. Daniel Ticktum and Lando Norris have both had a warning. They're both on a yellow card, black and white warning flag. So Daniel Ticktum, the race leader, second place driver Lando Norris, both on a warning flag. Third place Jahan Daravula holding off the challenge of Mick Betch. Can Mick Betch find one more push to break up this Ricky Flynn Motorsport domination and to get himself on the podium? Looks as if Ticktum's home and dry, because we've only got half a lap remaining, less than half a lap, a quarter of a lap. And it may well be that this is the final position, because sweeping round out of the Mike Wilson complex, a left, a right, and Daniel Ticktum sees the checkered flag raised, and Daniel Ticktum wins it. In second place it's Lando Norris, third Jahan Daravula, fourth is Mick Betch, fifth an impressive drive by the Scots, Dean McDonald fifth and Ross Martin sixth, Alessio Larandi from the last row to seventh, Max Futrell eighth, James Pull ninth, and hey, let's hear it for the lady. She started stone last and she's had her best result of the weekend. She's made the top 10. Marta Garcia Lopez 10th in the final.